In a year filled with isolation, restrictions at nursing homes and long-term care facilities have taken a toll on patients, family and staff, and older residents have been on lockdown now for a year. Even with safety rules, there have been illnesses and death and separation. Our Stephanie Poole joins us in the studio now with more on a year where generations have been disconnected. Stephanie.
That's right, Andrea. If you have a family member in a nursing home, you know that lockdown came very quickly. Since March of 2020, family members have done their best to make sure their loved ones know someone is there. Here in Columbus, one facility is relaxing restrictions so families can spend time with their relatives.
It's like it's not real. We watched my mama die on an iPad with a nurse sitting there holding her hand. And that is, I just can't comprehend.
July 19th, 2020 was the last time Carla Pritchett would talk to her mother, Linda Pritchett. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, nursing homes restricted all visitors, leaving many uncertain when they would see their loved one again. It was hard to cope, Pritchett says, especially knowing her mother was diagnosed with dementia.
She didn't understand what was going on. She kept asking us to come in, and the grandkids, the great-grandkids would make her signs and take to the window, and she still just didn't understand.
Keeping a flow of communication is what Linda Harris is doing to check in on her grandmother.
We were allowed to put a personal line in her room, so she answers the phone, and we could see our aunt and my grandmother on their beds or in their room, but that's as far as we can go. I'm calling, just smiling through the window.
Harris's 91-year-old grandmother, Maddie Brown, and 94-year-old great-aunt Sally Gray have lived in the same nursing home since the pandemic started. Harris says not being able to see her family is something she never thought would happen.
I don't think they would have made it through without each other, leaning on each other and trying to take care of one another inside there.
But with lifted restrictions in Mississippi, Garden Hills Assisted Living in Columbus is changing their visitation policy.
We're going to be a little bit cautious and probably have visits outside because that's always better. And if we do, we'll have a designated area for visits and, and probably one family at a time and just do that with scheduling.
Brandy Delaney says the facility will have mandatory coronavirus testing before family can visit with the patient.
We have the rapid nasal swab test, so we go ahead and test anyone.
You have to just kind of stay on top of it to keep depression down, because I'm sure
Garden Hills Assisted Living has not set a date to ease their restrictions for visitors, but families can expect those changes over the next couple of days.